In short summary, the range of the Caddx Protos with its Caddx Ascent HD video transmission system is similar to analog video systems in direct comparison at the same transmission power, meaning with 25 milliwatt or 100 milliwatt transmission power. At least that's how it feels to me. The image is a bit better than with analog video systems. Fine details like branches of trees are easier to see. The image quality of the Caddx Ascent HD video transmission system is, however, definitely not on DJI level, and the latency is much higher than with analog video systems and not suitable for racing and fast flying. For smooth flying, however, the latency is sufficient. Overall, I can therefore say that the Caddx Ascent HD video transmission system is sufficient for beginner pilots in range, video quality, and latency. It can always be better, of course, but I would say it is sufficient and roughly appropriate for the price. I think for some, it is the right option, and for others not. And I think the most important thing is therefore that you inform yourself well before buying, and that you know what you want, so that you can decide. I made an in-depth video review of the Caddx Protos, and I made it so detailed that it is also a manual for those who decide for the Protos. You can find the link to my complete Caddx Protos video guide in the video description of this video. Please note that in the future, there will be a playlist and/or a YouTube course with all my tutorial and review videos about the Caddx Protos RTF FPV beginner kit. So, come back to this channel again after a few days and weeks. If you want to be informed when a new video comes out, then you can also subscribe to this channel and activate the notifications. The Ascent video system of the Protos has limited range. From my point of view, the range is somewhat short. But as a beginner, you shouldn't fly farther anyway, because otherwise, you might not find your Protos again after a crash. Therefore, the range of the Protos is probably sufficient for what it was made for. For experienced FPV pilots, the range is a bit disappointing, but for beginner FPV pilots, the range is fine to learn FPV flying. Fly very carefully and slowly during your first flight and get to know your Protos and its limits, especially the limits of the video transmission. As a special feature, Caddx offers with the Ascent HD video transmission system a special type of signal strength display where the image switches from 16 to 9 to 4 to 3 when video reception is poor to prevent the video signal from breaking during flight and the drone from crashing. This worked in my tests, but only when I was flying very slowly. When flying fast, you cannot rely on this system to protect you from a loss of video signal and a subsequent crash. If video reception is lost, it is important that you stay calm. Leave the sticks in exactly the same position for 1 to 2 seconds. Sometimes the video signal comes back. If not, slowly lower the throttle stick for 1 to 2 seconds to about 10% and disarm the motors. In most cases, this can prevent greater damage. You can also disarm directly, but if you are higher than 10 meters, there is a high chance that your Protos will take damage. Therefore, use my method when flying in a large field where you cannot endanger anyone. The safe range for a beginner of the Caddx Ascent HD video transmission system is, in my opinion, about 50 meters radius in front of the pilot at 25 milliwatt transmission power and about 100 meters radius in front of the pilot at 100 milliwatt transmission power on an open field without obstacles. As a beginner, I recommend not flying higher than 50 meters. As soon as there are tree trunks or other obstacles between you and the Protos, the reception quickly becomes worse. Slowly get used to the characteristics of the Ascent HD video transmission system and try to fly in the same place at first so that over time you memorize where the reception gets worse. Always fly in front of you and keep your head upright so that the antenna in the front of your Ascent FPV goggles has good reception. If you lower your head too much, the reception quickly worsens. The same applies to the remote control, which you should also hold straight in front of you if possible. Never fly behind yourself. Behind you, the video reception quickly becomes worse because the antenna in your goggles is not designed for that. Therefore, always fly in front of you within a radius of 50 to 100 meters, and preferably not higher than 50 meters. I also briefly tested the low-light performance, and I don't think I need to say much about it. You can see it yourself in the video. You shouldn't fly after sunset. As long as the sun is above the horizon, the image quality is okay. But after sunset, the image quickly becomes much worse. However, I must mention that I only discovered after finishing this Caddx Protos video guide that there is a night setting in the camera tab in the goggles menu when the Protos is connected to the camera. Therefore, my information only applies to the day setting of the camera. The latency of the Caddx Ascent video system is quite high, as with many HD video transmission systems. This means that fast flying through obstacles is difficult to impossible. However, during relaxed, smooth flying, the latency is not disturbing. For me, the Protos is not a race drone, but rather a beginner drone for a cinematic, smooth flying style. In these recordings, I show you the range of the Caddx Ascent HD video transmission under difficult conditions in the forest, so that you can see how the video range of the Caddx Protos behaves when you fly behind objects like tree trunks and bushes, and partly no longer have direct visual contact with the drone. The video reception decreases very quickly when you fly behind many small objects, and when you fly behind a large object like a house, it can happen that the video reception ends very abruptly if there is not another object behind it from which the video signal can bounce. As you can see, it is by no means the case that a video system allows actual significant penetration of objects, as some people claim. It's always a bouncing of the video signal and a bending of the video signal around objects. Therefore, it is very important that you get to know the limits of the Caddx Ascent video system very carefully. The range is limited with all video systems, and it takes some practice to know where the safe flight zones are at a spot. Pay attention that these safe flight zones change immediately when you change your pilot position, or when you move your head strongly while flying or lower it. Therefore, get to know the Caddx Ascent video and the possibilities at your flight spot carefully. In the following video recordings, I will show you a comparison between the range of the Caddx Ascent video system in the forest with 25 milliwatt and with 100 milliwatt. In the large image, you see the range with 100 milliwatt. In the small image, the range with 25 milliwatt as comparison. I now wish you a lot of fun with your Caddx Protos and hope that through this video, you are better prepared and will never lose your Caddx Protos. If you want more information, then also check out my other videos about the topic Caddx Protos and Caddx Ascent HD video system, especially my in-depth review of the Caddx Protos. Also check out my playlists and video courses on this YouTube channel. Now I wish you a lot of fun flying. After this in-depth review from me, you'll know everything about the Caddx Protos Ready-to-Fly FPV Beginner Kit. Watch this video to be fully informed. I hope you liked the video, and if so, you can support my work on Ko-Fi.com, give this video a like, write a comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to be informed when I make a new video. I will make at least 2 more videos about the Protos. Stay tuned. Now I wish you lots of fun learning FPV flying. Also check out the tutorials on this channel about learning FPV flying and line-of-sight flying.